Running the Exploration Life from the Loam list here. Let's see, this looks like a risky hand. Should I keep this for science? So it's only got 2 land, but we'll probably hit a green source. If we don't hit a green source, it's kind of game over. But that's also what Once Upon a Time is here for. In a sense, it's part of our mana base. And we are on the draw, so we have another chance to find a green source as well. Alright, first draw. Sweet, and we're gonna still fire this off. I think try to find an Elvish Reclaimer. So since it's the first spell we cast this game, we can cast it for free. And we found an Elvish Reclaimer. The other part of me thinks maybe we would like a land, but I think Elvish Reclaimer is the way to go because it's kind of our engine. We'll draw into some more land or loam into some more land with Life from the Loam. So judging by the turn 1 planes, I was thinking this is Death and Taxes. Let's see. Okay, we got a Stoneforge Mystic, so could be looking at probably Stoneblade here. They're probably going to get Culture Complete, of course. Alright, so that's a pretty fast clock. Now, they could be running back to basics main deck as well. I think the play here is we're going to take 5 and then play the One Ring next turn. I want to get value out of this Reclaimer. So I think Glimmer Post here. And we still have Life from the Loam. I might even sacrifice Forest to get a Cloudpost so we can play the One Ring. That might be a bit dodgy. On the other hand though, because it kind of puts us all in on the One Ring, which is a bit risky. And we're just kind of waiting to cast the One Ring. We might even just go for a Maze of Ith. Interesting. They must have been looking for another land. This is fantastic. It's going to buy us a lot more time. If I were them, I would have probably just jammed Culture Complete. But I think they didn't want to miss a land drop, which is actually what ended up happening. Maybe they were digging for Swords to Plowshares. I'm not sure. But we are going to find another Cloudpost here. Oh, another Cloudpost. That's a fantastic draw. Not having this pressure on us from that Culture Complete for a turn is pretty huge. And this is kind of goofy because I won't even end up activating Elvish Reclaimer here because there's nothing I really want to sacrifice. Again, because we need to keep the green mana. I could sacrifice the forest to get Yavimaya. That might be an interesting or worthwhile play. Okay, so there's the other land. And I think, okay, no culture. I am super confused right now, but I'll take it. So here I'm going to cast Once Upon a Time. Since we have kind of all the land we need. It's also could bait out a counter, potentially. And I think I'll take the Bog here. Since we kind of don't really need a Reclaimer anymore after this. Okay, so we can jam. Let's see, we're going to have 3, 6, 7, 8 mana available. So we could jam Green Sun Zenith, or we can just jam the One Ring and play Cloudpost. I think we'll play Cloudpost. And then go 3, 4, the One Ring. It'll get countered most likely. And that's okay. Alright, so they pitched to Fairy Time Raveler. Counter the ring. So here after this we're gonna get Eye of Ugin. At this point we probably don't even need a basic forest. Culture Complete is pretty insane. I guess they wanted to leave the mana up on their turn. Makes sense. This would have been a much more difficult game had they played that earlier. The culture complete. Very surprised they haven't shown us any Swords to Plowshares. So we got 4, 8, 12, 13. 5 moving cost 7 to search. So we need 2 more mana to be able to search for and cast Ulamog. So actually what we're going to do is just get Emrakul at the end of this next turn, the opponent's turn. Okay, this changes things. That's a pretty great play. So we're going to pivot here. We're going to play our basic forest, and we still will cast 4, 8, 12. This changes everything. Okay, so I'm just going to jam this Greenstone Zenith, and hopefully they don't have a Force of Will. X is currently 6. That's what we want. Alright. Okay, so sideboarding against Stoneblade. What would we like here? I think we'd like to take out these craft rotations. We'll take out an Arboreal Grazer. I will take out on the draw. I think I'm just going to take out these explorations. We don't really need to go that fast against these guys. And we got big mana here with Carpet of Flowers. We can put these chokes in and put the Veil of Summers in. Make sure our spells resolve. We could side in the Dismembers as well. Side out an Elvish Reclaimer because they have Swords to Plowshares. 29 lands. I think we can go down to, let's see, we could take the depths package out, but then what do we put in? It's possible that we would just want to leave these explorations in. And yeah, let's take the depths package out. So I normally do that against Swords to Plowshares decks. Not always. And I think we'll put in a surgical extraction. Put in 1 Force of Vigor. It's only there for back to basics, but we also have 2 Besiege who endures main deck. Let's see. This is cool. I like this hand. It doesn't do a whole lot if our Reclaimer gets taken out, so it's a bit dodgy in a sense, but we're on the draw here. Exploration feels kind of medium here. I think we'll lead on it. Feels kind of bad actually. Alright, well we got a Cloudpost, so that feels pretty good now actually. Now do we want to lead on Reclaimer or Exploration? It comes down to which one do we want to resolve more. I think the Reclaimer. If this eats up a Force of Will, I'll be okay. This is pretty wild. We're going to have turn 2 4 lands in play. 2 Cloudposts. And they could be digging for a back to basics here probably. That's the name of the game right now. We found our basic forest, so that's pretty great for us. And we are already on so much mana right now. And we can just kind of play this safe. So this is kind of an ideal hand with this deck. Like when I started building this deck, this is how I envisioned it playing out. So next turn, if we copy basic forest, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. If they don't play back to basics here, we're just going to copy a Cloudpost and then have a ton of mana. And one of the things about playing against back to basics, you just don't tap your Cloudpost until you really need to. Unless you have like an answer like Besiege You. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Okay. Okay, so I could turn this Cloudpost into a forest, because then if we draw any land, we can jam Primeval Titan, and we want to be able to cast Veil of Summer if we need to. I think I am going to copy the forest for now. Now, at the end of their turn, I'll probably turn that back, um, since we now have a little Mog. Alright, the One Ring. Definitely going to play it. And Veil of Summer. And they force Veil of Summer. That's okay. They have 3 cards in hand now. Pitched a True Name Nemesis. Back to basics would be pretty heartbreaking here, but they don't have any pressure right now, so we can deal with it. Jace could become a problem. We just want to draw more lands at this point. Another basic. Alright, they're gonna cast a Brainstorm at the end of their turn. Pay for that mage. They're drawing a lot of cards. Oh wow. Sword of Fire and Ice. Sword of Feast and Famine. Target creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from black and green. Whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, the player discards a card. And you untap all lands you control. That is crazy. You hardly ever see Stoneblade around these days. It's a cool deck. So I will probably play my Endurance here after they attack. Or I'll just discard it. More likely. Wow, hardcast culture complete. Insane. And untap all lands. Let's see, I'm gonna discard Ulamog, because we won't be casting that this game. And I think I just hope to draw into like a Glimmer Post here, or Cavern of Souls. And that's gonna be game. We're still technically in it, so I guess I won't scoop yet. We're gonna go to 1 and not play the Endurance since they have it back to basics. And also because of that. Alright, so that is gonna be good game. Let's go to game 3. Alright, so let's get a little more serious here. So I'm gonna put these back in just in case. And I'm gonna take these explorations out. Put in a couple crop rotation. Put in a couple force of vigor. Put one more reclaimer back in. I think we can take out a couple endurance. 2 more cards. I'll take out this crucible. I'm gonna run 63. Keep. Cast Once Upon a Time first. Let's get a Cloudpost. Or do we get a forest? At this point, if we get a Cloudpost, we don't even need to activate Elvish Reclaimer at all, really. We'll need him to find our Eye of Udin eventually, but we're going to jam a turn 3 ring. Back to basics would be pretty backbreaking here. Spell Pierce maybe for some negation. They have a lot of forces in Storm. 3 cards in hand. Let's just hope one of them is not a back to basics. And if it is, let's hope we can find a Bosiju. Narset, okay. Wow, they didn't find anything with Narset? That's wild. So Narset finds you a non-creature, non-land. Wow, our cards are just coming out like perfect right now. So they need to find that back to basics. Let's see. Interesting. They whiffed off of Narset twice. Never seen that happen before. And I think, so they got Cauldron, Sword of Feast and Famine. So they have that and one other card, so there's no way they have a force. So we're gonna pull a Carpet of Flowers here and go to our second main phase. We still have a land drop. 3, 6, 7. I'm gonna drop this and search at the end of their turn. Try to dodge back to basics. Because if I search for a creature now and they drop back to basics, then I'm just out of luck. Alright, so this is pretty much probably game over here. And next turn, let's see, do I want to discard Glimmerpost or Cloudpost? Probably Glimmerpost. Okay, so next turn I'm going to have 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think I can cast Emrakul. Alright, there it is.